So I am a massive WWE fan. Love it. Never miss Raw or SmackDown. John Cena all the way.
Yeah, love
Um,
it.
so Raw came to Winnipeg this past August, and I was like, I've never been to Raw. I was like, yeah, we're going. So I buy my tickets. We were floor seats, 6th row from the ring. Excellent. But we pull up to the hotel across from I forget what it's called now, but it used to be Bell MTS Center where the Jets play. And we pull up in front of the hotel, and this crackhead starts hobbling towards our car. He comes up to our window on the passenger side and he starts like tapping on the window and start like yanking on the door handle. And he was just like scratching his crackhead fingers on the window. And I was like, holy shit, he wasn't leaving. So I had to like put the car in reverse and like crank out of there. And then he was like, ah ha ha ha. And he started walking away. I'm like, this isn't funny.
Is that like a normal thing that happens there?
Yeah, Manitoba, all of Manitoba, the province of Manitoba is just crazy.
Crackheady.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So if you
Oh,
go to Winnipeg, lock your doors.
it sounds a lot like Norfolk, like where our main venue is called the Norva here, and it's like in the middle of a part of the city that you do not want to be in. So like you walk to the bus outside the Norva and you're just like head down, hood on,
Mhm.
just like don't look at me, don't talk to me, like crackheads everywhere, like doing the thing where they come up to the windows if you're parked at a red light. Yeah.
That's
Uh-uh.
shit that like we would talk about like, oh, if it happens, like this is what we do. But I didn't think it would actually ever happen. I was
Yeah, like what
freaking
are you
out.
supposed to do?
Exactly. I was like, I don't
Give
know
them
what to
money.
do, but I'm just gonna like
Run
roll
that red
right
light.
on.
Okay,
Freaking
I'm gonna like write this down. Like I need to start like a black book of like things people say about cities I might
yeah.
be in.
Take notes about Canada. Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. Run the other way.
Saskatchewan. I don't even know if I'd be able to spell that if I try to take notes on this.
You know what? I still have trouble spelling it, so
I don't know where we were in Canada. I think it was Vancouver. Vancouver fucks. Vancouver's kind of cool.
mhm.
No, Edmonton has the big mall, right?
Yeah, the West End. Yeah, West Edmonton
That
Mall.
shit was fun. We spent a whole day there and we
The
did
West
like the
Edmonton Mall is
go-karts
fun.
that are in there and like got kind of lit and walked around for way too long. But I remember that place being decent.
Mhm.
Like that one didn't sketch me out too much.
No,
The rest of Canada is kind of all the fucking same.
Edmonton's good. Calgary's kind of psychotic. It's like a zoo,
I
Oh,
got a story about
a
Chicago,
province.
Illinois when we figure this out.
Chicago. Chicago is always interesting.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah, no
Chicago's
shit.
kind of sketchy.
It
Yes.
is. It's
It's beautiful though. Like there's a lot to do there, but it's
CM Punk.
mm, yeah.
yeah, it's it,
Yeah. Wait, he's back
so
for good. Okay, tell the story. Yes. We can talk
d-
WWE later.
wait, CM Punk, is he from like Chicago?
He's from Chicago, best in the world.
And he just returned.
He did. Oh my God, I was watching Survivor Series, and I was like, it's not happening. It just can't be. And then start panning the camera out, and it's like, look in my eyes, and I was like, oh my God, it's happening. I was running
Best
circles in my
moment.
living room. Yeah,
Circle back. Yeah.
circle.
CM Punk. So you guys probably don't know this, but CM Punk was actually in a really, 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 really bad horror movie.
Was he?
He was, and
I know.
it's like it was like within a few years ago. Hold up, let me pull this up. And the reason I say that you guys probably don't know what it is because like nobody's heard of it. Nobody. It was terrible. It was like god awful.
Was
But
he like the
like
main character in it?
he was the main character.
No.
The girl on the third floor.
That's unfortunate.
Yep. 2019, The Girl on the Third Floor. It's got like CM Punk and like a couple no I don't really know who else, but yeah, it's terrible. It's like god awful. It
But it's
it got
him.
a really solid score on Rotten Tomatoes though.
Girl on the third. I'm writing this shit down. Hang on.
Girl on the Third Floor. It's terrible.
Ian, we
I
gotta
mean,
get you watching WWE, man. So much fun.
Yeah.
It's great.
I only tune in like every WrestleMania now because I grew up on WWE. Like that was my childhood. Life-size cardboard cutout of John Cena in my room.
Oh,
Oh yeah, dude, yeah. Like all of our
no.
tournaments were like Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, like figurines. Like that was our whole childhood. And so now that it kind of sucks, I've only tuned in for WrestleManias or when I see that something big is happening, like CM Punk returning, or if John Cena makes another appearance. And I saw that like The Rock came back for something the other day. So it's like I still keep up with it, but like not. And I know that Roman Reigns is about to fight his last match or something.
Oh, I God hope so. Roman
What?
Reigns can go leave
I thought
forever
we
and
liked him.
ever.
I thought we liked him.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story here. Okay. Do you know the whole tribal chief story?
Rikishi and all that.
Okay, so this Roman Reigns has held the Heather, this makes me so mad. Roman Reigns, the big dog, the head of the table, has held the World Heavyweight Championship for like 1,500 days. That is so unfair. And guess what? He only wrestles like 3 times a year. That is so BS. And it pisses me off. And then there's the bloodline, right? So it's Roman Reigns. He's the tribal chief. Paul Heyman is with Roman Reigns now. Right? Yeah. And then then the Usos, Jimmy and Jay Uso, were also with Roman Reigns. And now their brother, Solo Sikoa. So they would just come in and like interfere and beat people up. And Roman never wrestles, and it just makes me so angry. So now Jay Uso pissed off. He's on Monday Night Raw now. But then the other little bloodline things going on, and Randy Orton has a match with him at Royal Rumble. It's actually triple threat: Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight. So I swear, Randy Orton better be RKO and out of nowhere, and he better get the 1, 2, 3. Because if not, I'm going to throw something at my TV.
When is the Royal Rumble? It's coming up in like a couple weeks, right?
It is this coming up weekend.
Like today? Like tomorrow?
No, like the following weekend.
Perfect.
The 27th.
Okay. Sick. I'll watch it. Okay, what we need to hear this Chicago story.
Well, hold on. Before we go into that, listen.
You're learning so much
today. Exactly. It's not that I don't like WWE. I think, when I was a kid, my cousin Jacob and I would like do wrestling moves in his basement. He would like Batista bomb me, if you know what that is. And then we would play the video games, right? And then, I couldn't get into it at an older age, but I am more of a UFC kind of guy. Like that's kind of where I'm
Conor McGregor and
yeah, Conor McGregor, Holly Holmes, Ronda Rousey, like
right. Logan
the
Paul,
guy.
whoever.
Jake Paul.
Logan Paul is a chump, dude. I am sorry.
Logan
the Paul brothers need to quit wrestling, okay? I hate that they wrestle, dude. I hate it. It's so dumb.
Logan Paul walks into WWE and they're like, here's the United States Championship.
Like, I imagine he got a contract and like with all the money he has, he's like, make me the top guy. I'll pay you. I don't know how it works, but
I'll give him this. He's a decent wrestler. Like he's in there doing flips and stuff. But you can't just come in here and walk your way in and take the belt. Makes me so angry.
I agree with Victoria in that like he's a decent fighter.
Yeah,
okay,
like,
he's
not bad to watch.
He actually gets in there and does shit.
Yeah. He does. And he fought Floyd Mayweather, I think, right? He fought Floyd Mayweather, right? And we watched the fight and I'm like, dude, this is crazy. He's actually like doing good. Like this is like what? I hate that he's doing this good.
Both like I watched the documentary, whoever's it was, Jake Logan, I don't know, but one of them has a documentary on Netflix and it like talks like as much as everybody hates them and I don't know their whole story, but you gotta give it up to them for being really good business people at such a young age. Like they're doing, even if like bad publicity is still publicity and they're still making way more money than any of us. So as much as they are like so annoying and they need to like kind of, I wish they would stay in their own like little influencer lane. Still like props to them, I guess. I don't know shit about shit though.
Okay.
Chicago story.
I mean, it's not anything crazy, but we were talking about like people being crackheads and shit. And I have like a little tidbit. It's so, you know what Lollapalooza is, Heather?
Heard of it.
So, if you're unfamiliar, Lollapalooza is one of the biggest like music like festivals in America, right? And it
Right.
takes place in Chicago year after year. So, we're walking back to our hotel from Lolla, and it's like dark out. And you ever see like what's a good example here? Like someone Buckeye, like big
Oh,
eyes,
yeah.
like
Like,
yeah, like right. So we're walking back to our hotel, and this guy, he's like sweaty, shirt and tie, dressed up. He's just like he's bugging, right? He's bugging, and he walks up to me. He looks at me. He stares into my soul, and he goes, "You want some cocaine, man?" And I'm like, no,
no,
pass, but thanks.
it's probably
Appreciate
not just
it.
cocaine. That's probably something else.
Right.
Yikes. Oh, okay. Yeah, Chicago's mega fun. Just stay by the bean and you'll be safe.
Oh my
Oh,
Sorry,
God.
that was your experience.
that's all right. I feel like we get derailed on the podcast like quickly, but it makes good content though. It really
Fuck it.
does.
I ain't doing
This
anything
is
else for the next 2 hours.
this is the point. We have fun on the show. I'm not like a bland ass interviewer that's like, tell me about yourself and tell me about this, and then we're gonna talk about this. No, screw that.
No, you guys immediately like I'm like, oh, these guys are cool. Like I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Like I have no reason to say like when you reached out, I was like, I have no reason to say no. Like I don't feel like I'm that special, but like, yay, thank you for reaching out. And then like as today was coming after rescheduling and rescheduling and rescheduling, I was like, I don't really know what to do or like why, but like immediately I was like, oh yeah, these guys are sick. Like you guys are so much fun already. So thanks for being cool.
With that, just okay, with that being said, it is currently 1:23 and we haven't even properly started this yet.
Listen, man, I'm okay with that. This is way better. The game
Okay,
is just random bullshit today.
let me tell you though, I haven't even done an intro. We are half an hour into this and people still don't know who the hell we have on the show right now.
That's
Okay.
right.
And this is the problem that we are facing right now. So,
That's
with that being said, hello everyone. Welcome to the halfway point of our interview. Today, we are joined by Heather Richardson.
That's
And
me.
I'm not going to ask how you're doing because we've been talking for like half an hour, so I can kind of.
Fucking fantastic.
No.
Fantastic. Northern.
what
North. I did that one on that was on purpose. That was on purpose. Fantastic. And that's like Brooklyn almost. Or Jersey.
Oh my God, people that have like Brooklyn accents irritate the living shit out of me.
The Boston one is the worst for me. All right, what you got for me?
um oh, all right. Go time, Ian. Okay. Tell us about how you, Heather Richardson, got into the music industry.
Okay. I'll give you like the semi-long story. So when I was growing up, I didn't have like any like passions or interests or like inherent skills. My mom was in the law industry, my dad was in the home building industry. I thought I was gonna be a WWE diva when I was younger. Like in elementary school, they would ask you, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I was like, "WWE diva," like fucking Kelly or whatever her name was.
Mhm.
And so when I eventually went to college, and you know you have to pick a major and everything, I was like, well, I think I'm just gonna do a business degree and like see what happens with that. But the only thing that I know that I really give a shit about is going to concerts. Like I would fly to see my favorite band, which at the like middle school, high school, my favorite band was The Word Alive. So I would always just like book a flight to go see wherever they were and always buy the VIP package and like meet friends and people across the country that were doing the same thing I was doing. So I was like, all right, if this is the only thing I truly, really enjoy, let me try to make some sort of career out of it, I guess. So I graduated with a degree in digital marketing and a minor in music industry. And I did an internship in LA summer of 2017, I think it was, where I worked for a company called CrowdSurf, and they do social media for bands and artists. So like if an artist, one of their clients, who I think my NDA ran out, but I'm still not going to say, but they worked with some bigger clients, like mostly pop artists. But let's say like a client had an album coming out, like we were responsible for creating a social media campaign, building up to the release, blah, 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 blah. And I ended up being really good at it. So I was like, all right, maybe this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do social media for bands. We'll see what happens. But I wanted to still like explore the other aspects of the industry. Like maybe, do I want to work for a venue? Do I want to work for a band? Do I want to, I don't know, print t-shirts? I don't know. So I was just trying to take every opportunity I could to like see all realms of it. And so in college, I had this friend, he was like my gym buddy, who had an older brother who was a promoter at a venue in Richmond. And so I knew this kid all 4 years of college, and I was like, Troy, his name was Troy.
Hey.
I was like, Troy, let me just like talk with your brother. Like, I just kind of want to see if what he does is something I'd be interested in, like being a promoter for a venue. And it's a venue I went to a lot. And so finally, like a month before I graduated, so after 4 years of pestering this kid, his name's Mark. Mark ended up letting me shadow him for a day. And it was for a show I was going to go to anyways. It was Ice Nine Kills, From Ashes to New, Palisades, Afterlife, and I think that's it. So I was going to go to the show anyways because Ice Nine Kills, From Ashes to New. And so I show up and I was supposed to be the runner for that day. Like just go get the coffee, do whatever Mark needed me to do, like help clean up, drive people around, whatever. So as soon as I got there, I had Mark like looking for, he's like, thank God you're here. Like, I need you to do something. You need to drive this guy to urgent care. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm scared. I don't know. Okay, fine, let's go. So this guy hops in my car and he definitely looked like a band dude, but I didn't recognize him. And so I'm driving him to urgent care. He was fine. His throat was like swelling up from doing vocals or whatever. But it ended up being Ricky from Ice Nine Kills. Yeah, I no clue. So we got to chatting, and I drive him to urgent care, pick up the coffee for everyone, drive him back, and we like swap numbers and everything, and be like instantly hit it off as friends. Like he's great, he's the quirkiest guy ever, but he just like immediately like warmed up to me and was like, "What are you doing here? Like, how can I help? Like, you're doing great, blah blah blah." So that was in like April of 2019, and June of 2019, so 2 months later, I just graduated with no job. Like I graduated, went back home to Virginia Beach, and I had no clue what the I was going to do next. He hits me up asking me if I want to go on tour with his smaller band called Hawk, which used to be This or the Apocalypse. And he's like, hey, like we can't pay you anything. We're going to be in a van. Do you want to sell some t-shirts? And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Like I ain't doing anything else. Like I don't give a shit. Like I'll probably lose a lot of money. Like trying to like pay for food every day and whatever, just trying to make the most out of this experience. But yeah, let's go. So we do a tour. It was Rage Fest. I think it was Rage Fest 2. So it was Crown the Empire, Attila, Veil of Maya, Gideon, and then us, Hawk, and some other earlier opener band like Life Starts Now or Life something. But that was my first tour, and it was incredible. I did not make any money, and we only sold like 8 shirts a night. It didn't give me like that much experience, but to start out like with a smaller band in a van where you're kind of like doing everything on your own, like there's no catering, there's no tour bus, there's no like real tour manager, there's no real like instructions. I feel like that was the best way I could have gotten my start. And then Ricky being like my mentor now and all the connections he has, shit just blew up, I guess. And I started like helping out with Ice Nine Kills, being like their assistant merch person every now and then. Then COVID hits, yeehaw. And I still do what I can to like help out with Ice Nine whenever they were on the East Coast. I would drive and like work for them for a day or two. And then got hit up by All That Remains, got hit up by Atreyu, and now here we are. So I just kind of accidentally on purpose fell into the touring world. I just didn't know like what I wanted to do with my life, and I was kind of in the position where I couldn't say no to an opportunity because like what the else was I gonna do? So Ricky shows up out of nowhere, and that was like the best thing that could happen for me. It was working for that venue for an hour, and meeting him. So I owe a lot of my career to Ricky, and then a lot of the people I've met along the way, like lighting guys and guitar techs, they're the reason why like All That Remains contacted me. Like this was early 2022, like January, and I get a message randomly from the lighting guy who became my good friend, the lighting guy for who's A Day to Remember. And he just like randomly texted me. He's like, "What are you doing in March?" And I'm like, "Nothing." And he's like, "All That Remains needs someone. Are you down?" And I'm like, "You're throwing my name out there for All That Remains? Are you fucking kidding me? Like I used to play them on Guitar Hero. Like, dude, like the fact that somebody who I'd met only a couple times like had that much faith in me and like was willing to put my name out there for such a big band, just like it shows how important the connections you make in this industry are, and also like the friendships, because I consider him a really good friend. And I didn't like become friends with him for his connections and with like Ricky and this guy and then the person who ended up getting me the all that or the Atreyu gig also. It's just like these people, we all look out for each other, and every connection is just like everyone is here for the same reason, especially on the crew side. Like everyone, we're all doing the same stuff and we're all just trying to make it. And we all understand that this is pretty much freelance work. So we're all here to help each other out. So like anytime someone, like I said, anytime someone needs a guitar tech, I'm throwing Evan's name out there first. So I just got really, really lucky and fortunate with the connections that I made, mostly accidentally. And I just have people looking out for me. And I still don't know how or why like I got so lucky, and like I'm just so thankful for everybody that I've met. But yeah, I have really great friends in really good places, and I owe them pretty much my career. Like there's three people, like Ricky, that lighting guy, and then the other lighting guy who got me the Atreyu gig. Like those three people I owe my entire career to. And Troy and Mark.
Roy.
Yeah, Troy. Yeah, that's that story.
Shit, man, that makes me think of like what we were talking about earlier. Like, it started with BVB Army Hearts to Hearts, and then I
Mm-hmm.
met Cassidy, and then I met Bellamy, and a bunch of us met up in Cincinnati, Ohio for the Trinity of Terror Tour Part
Yeah.
2. And then shortly after that, I shit you not, this cute little Canadian 19-year-old DMs me on Instagram and she goes, "Oh, hey, how you doing, Ian? My name is Victoria, and I kind of need somebody to co-host my
Okay,
podcast."
that's not quite how it went. This is
How do
how
you
it
remember
went.
it? How do you remember
Okay,
it?
this is exactly how it went. So I text Ian on Instagram and I'm like, "Yo, Ian, just want to introduce myself, blah, blah, blah." And then we exchanged Snapchats. And then I was like, I said something about needing a co-host. And then Ian's like, "I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it."
Two completely different stories.
Yeah, it's like, but that's the thing. That's how these connections
Yeah.
happen, man. You know somebody who knows somebody,
Mhm.
and then from there you just meet all these people, and it's like crazy how that shit happens.
Yeah, and now like that first tour that we did with Attila and Crown, the lighting guy, it's always a lighting guy. The lighting guy for Crown and Attila, I think he was doing both on that tour. So this is 4.5 years ago. We are now about to be roommates in Nashville next month. And like we're best friends. We've been best friends for the past 4 years now. And like that tour, that first tour I did, I thought maybe I was gonna do one and done. Like I didn't know that a whole thing was gonna come from it. But it just showed like the people you run into and the people you meet and the people that you build these relationships with, it matters. And they're not just like friends that you meet on the street or like people that you just like, I mean, yeah, they are like when you get off tour with these people, you hardly talk to them, but you still check in. But these connections that I've made on tour and in this industry are so much stronger and on a different level than just like friends at home or like friends from school. So it's like a sense of like home almost with these people, because it's like we did this together and we may not see each other for a couple more months, but like we built this bond doing this shitty job in the snow and lifted a bunch of boxes, and like we love it so much, but like we did it together and now we're gonna be friends forever. So it's
Mhm.
just it's really cute to like think back of all the people that you've met years ago in some random city or on some random tour with some random band, and like where it is now. Like I never thought that the lighting guy for Attila was gonna be my fucking roommate, my cat's like god dad. So I got very, very, very lucky.
Mhm.
I didn't work that hard. I mean, I was persistent in like talking to that Troy and Mark guy, but I didn't work that hard to like get here. And I'm forever like I'm always like aware of that like I was lucked into this. And like a lot of people have worked so hard to get where they are in this industry. And like I just was fortunate enough to run it like right place, right time, right people. And I think about that every day that like I can't like let this opportunity, like I can't pass up any opportunity and like everything that comes my way. Like I'm just so grateful for. But this industry is insane. But everybody who I've met in this industry so far, like even like I've done one of these podcast interviews. Even that guy is awesome, and like you guys are awesome. Everybody in every realm of this industry is just we're all just like always on the same page, and it just makes me so happy.
Hell yeah, man. Like Victoria is like the little sister that I never had. I've never met her in person, but like we have worked together for a little over a year and like I adore her. Like
Yeah. Next time I'm in Saskatchewan. Sas- what is that? Regina.
Yeah, Regina.
What is it?
Okay.
Ooh.
So it sounds like you've done your fair share of shows and tours. Do you have any funny or like awful tour stories?
Um, that first tour that I did, so that Hawk, Ricky's band Hawk, they're based out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is close to me, my side, East Coast. Our first show was, I think it was St. Louis, actually. Our first show was in St. Louis. So we had to do, I think it was like a 14-hour drive that first night. And this is the first night that I'm meeting mostly everybody. Like I met Ricky and then their drummer Adam, but I met like Patrick from Ice Nine was our tour manager slash driver. And then there's two other, like the guitar player and the bass player. So there's six of us. I'd only known two of them. So I show up to Pennsylvania. We pack up the trailer, the van, whatever. My first tour, like I'm like laying in the back of this van, trying to like getting the nerves out and everything. And we do this 14-hour drive. And within the first hour, I get a UTI, which like I'm asking them to stop the van so I can piss on the side of the road like every 30 minutes or like take me to a pharmacy so I can get medicine. It was one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to me ever. I'm like meeting these people for the first time, and like poor Patrick is driving 14 hours. And I'm like, hey, Patrick, nice to meet you. You got to stop on the side of the road. Like, this is bad. I got to go. And so that being my first day on tour is like not ideal. But that was my personal horror story from tour. I'm trying to think of like any like, oh, okay. On our spring tour, it was Atreyu, Point North, Within Destruction, and Lilac. And it was our headliner. And it was like, I think it was only 4 or 5 weeks. And our last day was in Denver. I had just got it was Colorado Springs and then Denver were our last 2 days. And Colorado Springs, the second to last day, I had just gotten broken up with over a text. So I was a mess. I cut my extensions out just out of like sadness. I don't know. People do crazy things when they're heartbroken. And then the next day, our drummer's wife thought she was going into labor and she lives in San Diego. So it's our last day on tour. Like everyone's always in good spirits. Like we got to get some stuff ready for like the airport, whatever, clean out the bus. But like the last day show is always just like no one gives a fuck on stage. Everyone's having a good time. They were going to let me come up on stage. They were going to let Evan come up on stage and like play the saxophone or something. It was going to be this like whole party on stage. And our drummer, like 4 hours before the show, gets word that he's flying back. He's flying to San Diego. He's missing the show. So our tour manager, who is also our drum tech, thank God, for the next 4 hours before the show, he has his AirPods in and he's learning the set on drums. And like he was so, and this guy, his name's Justin. Justin is always like the most loud, outgoing, goofy Joker guy. For 4 hours, he was dead silent, just like sitting in the corner, like, and like trying to like talking with Brandon, our singer, like what happens here, what happens in this part. And so the show starts and we're all like, we don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Like we got like 75 minutes to play with a drummer who hasn't played the set before, who's supposed to be tour managing and getting us ready to like leave the airport tonight. Like it's a shit show. Everyone's so nervous and he crushes it. Like he doesn't miss a beat. He absolutely killed it. Me and Evan still got to go up there and like hit the tambourine or whatever. It was baller. Like it was fucking insane. Like I'll never forget that, like how nervous he was. Like he was up there just like, I don't know, man. Somehow I'm hitting all these things and everything's sounding right. And I'm like, yeah, everything's sounding great. Like you look like a pro. And it turns out our drummer who flew back to San Diego actually didn't have the baby that day. It was like another week later. That was just like a cluster of a day, but it ended up being actually like one of the best days on tour. I think that those are the two that come to mind: the the UTI, and then the emergency labor. Yeah, I've luckily not encountered too many like catastrophes on tour. Everything's been very like normal and expected, which yay. I haven't had to like put out a bus fire or anything, but knock on wood. But yeah, no, everything's been very kind of like normal and smooth sailing on my tours, I think. Unless like I've like trauma blocked something out that I'm forgetting. But no, I think that's it.
Kind of an odd transition.
Hit me with it.
What do you think? What do you think constitutes good merchandise? Like shirts, hoodies, sweatpants. I think Motionless in White does like swimming trunks,
Oh my
right?
God, Motionless in White has like some of the best merch I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it does. But
Okay. So
what do
a
you
lot
think?
goes into this. So a lot goes into it. Like if we're talking like merch on tour that like I'm selling, so my mind immediately goes to what time of year is it? So like if you're doing a summer tour, one hoodie is fine. You don't need a collection of hoodies. So it depends on what time of year is it, like what climates are you going to be in that people are going to buy, you know, like if you're in Florida on a summer tour, people are probably not going to buy hoodies, you know what I mean? But I mean, everybody from what I've experienced, like people, like customers coming up, fans coming up and like asking for things I don't have. I've been asked a lot for stickers and pins. People love like the tiny table shit. Vinyls, of course, are like have been making a comeback, and I think that's gonna stay for a while. Like those are now like fun, different color collector items. Like my All That Remains tour, we had 4 different color of the same vinyl, and it people went crazy for it. Like there was like a light blue one, and then a more expensive black one, and then a way more expensive limited edition hot pink one, and people went psycho for it, and that was a great idea. Also, what I've noticed, people love actually, this is kind of 50-50. People love having dates on the back because it's like, oh, I was at that show. But there's other people who like hate having dates on the back. I personally think if a hoodie has, or a hoodie or shirt has the dates on the back, I'm more gravitating to buy that one. It's like, that's the tour I went to, whatever. I don't know. I think a lot of people are looking for not black t-shirts anymore. So a variety of color is starting to make a comeback from just what I've seen. Like I know a lot of people like white shirts now, which yeah, I'm all about that. There it is. Hi, how are you? But I think like if I were to do like let's say a trip going on
Oh my God.
you're like, yeah, look, go hi.
Oh my God, I'm crying.
Oh, dude, I fucking love this interview so much.
I do
This
too.
has been
This is
great.
amazing.
This is great.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
No, this has been like, dude, like Victoria said earlier, like sometimes we just want to get like out, like be done, right? But this has been a delight.
I don't even have any like Kleenex in here.
You gotta clip that part right there and make that like a hi, how are you? Okay. Okay, to wrap this one up. Like, okay, so on my All That Remains tour, obviously that clientele is a little like older military men, kind of. So when they asked me to like a week into that tour, they're like, hey, if we were to design a new shirt, what have you seen do you think would sell? So I offered up, I was like, let's do a long sleeve because we didn't have one on the spread. Let's do a long sleeve army green with dates on the back. And that ended up selling pretty well. So it's all about like who your fan base is for what band you're working for. But if Atreyu were to go on tour next month, I would probably do like a shirt with the dates on the back, a shirt without the dates on the back, a long sleeve with the dates, a hoodie without the dates, a hoodie with the dates, stickers, pins, vinyl, maybe like something else small. Like I spray paint drum heads that like are used on stage, and when they're done, when they switch them out, however that process works, that's a drum tech question. But whenever we're done with drum heads, I'll spray paint the Atreyu logo on it, have the boys sign it, and then sell that at merch. Signed items are those shits go. So anything like personalized or signed. But yeah, I mean, like I think from what I've seen, as long as you got like more than like one option. Oh, what was that? I missed it.
The Temple of Love, Blackville.
Yeah,
Black.
see people like even like I have at the end of every tour, I get our either a drum head that I made or like a tour poster. I'll have everybody on the tour sign it, and it's like I have a whole shelf of just tour signed stuff, and it's like that's my favorite corner in the house. So people love signed things. Yeah, that's all I got. I think as long as a band comes with options, fans are gonna buy something. Like even if I show up to a show and I look at the merch and like most of it's ugly, I'll still buy something, you know, like unless it's like really ugly. But fans want to buy merch. So as long as like you give a decent amount of variety of like with the dates, without the dates, small items, big items, exclusive items, then I think like you're making sales no matter what. Yeah.
Merch is like you can't not go to a show and not get merch.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like I just went to a show last night and I was like, I told Ian, so I went up and I'm like, okay, I want a shirt and a CD. And then they were like, ooh, we got a bundle. And I'm like, what's the
Oh,
bundle? And we're like, a shirt, a CD, and a pin. And for $50. And I was like,
yeah.
bundle. And then they
Oh
threw
yeah.
some free stickers for me. I was like, excellent. Perfect.
We did a thing on the All That Remains tour where at the end of the tour we had leftover like crew shirts that the band printed just for us at the beginning of the tour. We sold those on the last day and people loved it. It says like All That Remains crew on it. And we also found some like random skate decks in the trailer. We sold those. We found an old box of merch from like 7 tours ago and we brought that on last year's tour and people love that, like vintage stuff. So there's a lot like you said, people want to buy merch. So I think just anything will sell. You just have to have a variety of shit. I still consider myself like new to this, even though it's been 4.5 years minus COVID, whatever. I still don't consider myself an expert at all. Like I've only done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 bus tours, I think. Which I mean, yay, go me. But there's so many people out there that have done so much more, and I'm still like working my way up the ladder. So I'm still like learning and experiencing everything and like still trying to like figure out how I can do my job the best to my abilities. And yeah, every tour that I get booked on, I'm just like, okay, this is another learning experience. This is another way for me to get better at my job so people keep hiring me. But I'm trying.
Okay, Heather.
What's
This
up?
one's might be an easy one, might be a hard one. If you had to pick your top 5 favorite bands, who are you picking?
Like to listen to?
Yeah.
Okay, so favorite band of all time, Defeater. They're not very well known. But that's the only like that's one of the only bands I have like a story of why they became my favorite band, and it's like a very like it's like a heartfelt kind of story. So they will, even though I don't listen to them on a daily basis, I'll pick their playlist up because someone I know made a playlist of all of their songs in like chronological order and it's like 4 hours long. I'll pick their playlist up on a road trip. Don't listen to them every day, but they have like a special like meaning. So Defeater, The Word Alive, just because that's kind of the band that got me into this industry. Like that was the band that I was passionate about going to see, and I kind of owe that passion for them to my love for wanting like to be in the industry. Because like now that I'm running merch and VIP meet and greets, like I see fans that were me. Like when I was following the World Alive and like doing all their meet and greets, I now get to host the meet and greets of people doing that with Atreyu and all that remains. So I just kind of like owe my love for the industry to them. I've got to put We Came as Romans on that list just because recently I've gotten really close with Andy from that band, and him and I are like really great friends now. And I think our friendship might turn into business partners soon. Hush, hush. But the We Came as Romans camp, like those boys have been so great to me. I kind of feel like a part of like their sub family. Like I've been very welcomed into their family, and this all happened like very recently, but just them as boys, their music, love it too. Listen to that every day. But them as boys, like they're just great people. Hang on, stand by. I'm trying to think of a band that like I listen to okay, a recent like new favorite is Dark Divine. I think that I probably listen to them the most right now. So like we got the all-time favorites in the Word Alive and Defeater. We got the best friends, We Came as Romans, and then we got the current favorite, like as of today, would be Dark Divine. And I'd say like my favorite, let's do like my favorite to see live. I love I Prevail. And I'm not like, I know a lot of people. Yes. Their music, if I had to describe like my taste in just simply music, it would be I Prevail. And I know people are like, oh, they're so like mainstream. No, they're not. Like I love their style of like the mixing of the singing and the screaming and like a little bit of techno, but still like powerful. So I think I Prevail is the way I would describe like my music taste in a band. And singing live at like Blue Ridge and like other festivals, like I will always just stand there and like almost come to tears watching them because I'm just so happy and like their shit just hits. So I gotta put them on there.
Mm-hmm. It's excellent.
I'm gonna think about this all day and be like, did I miss someone?
We are moving on to our fun questions. Usually we have more, but I feel like this whole interview has been fun, so who needs them? My fun question, you had mentioned when you were younger, you were like in school when they'd be like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you're like, oh, I'm gonna be a WWE diva, right? My question to you is, it's a two-parter.
Okay.
What would your theme song be, your entrance song? And would you rather be on Raw or SmackDown?
I gotta say Raw, because I don't know the state of Raw and SmackDown now, but I know as a kid, we would always like VHS record Monday Night Raw. And I think John Cena was mostly on Raw. He was on Raw more than SmackDown. I remember SmackDown being like Rey Mysterio and Batista, and then Raw was John Cena and whoever the fuck else. So I gotta say Raw. Theme song. There's like some science behind this because you need like a good intro before you walk out, and then you need the first, I don't know why this one just hit me, but Your Betrayal by Bullet for My Valentine. How it starts like that one. I feel like that's, for some reason, that's the first one that just hit me. I would have to like give that a lot of thought before I come up with like what my final answer would be, but for some reason that song just popped in my head because the instrumentals on that intro are like, I feel like would be a good, oh, she's coming. She's gonna so yeah, that okay. I'll settle on that for now. Ooh, that's a good one. What would yours be?
Mine? Oh God. Okay, I would be on Raw because Raw is superior. Okay. I'm not a big fan of SmackDown.
I like red better than blue, so yeah.
Yeah, gotta go with Raw. Oh damn.
That's a hard question.
Wait. I'm gonna tell you right now. Let me go to my Spotify playlist because I got some bangers on there.
You see if I come across something else that I feel like.
You know what? I'm a massive Black Veil Brides fan. So I feel like, Crimson Skies, coming out to Crimson Skies would be like, bam, like you said, like, oh yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you need like a strong like instrumental start.
Yeah, like I think that would be excellent. And plus it would be like Black Veil Brides, right? Like two of my favorite things combined.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Okay.
That would probably, as of right now, be my answer.
If I come across another one, I'm gonna have to message you and be like, I thought of one.
Do it.
Okay.
Or Heart of Fire by Black Veil Brides would be good too. That's a cool intro. Something just guitar-y, you know?
Yeah.
Mine's stupid,
Okay,
What?
what's
SpongeBob.
yours?
but it's funny. So I don't really watch wrestling, but I'd have to go with, since Raw is the dominant answer, I will go with Raw.
Hmm. We
There
don't
is a
want you. Draft you
movie.
to SmackDown.
What? So I can't be. All right, fine. I'll go to SmackDown. F it. Why not? I'll do
Because it's
SmackDown.
taken over.
So I'll do SmackDown. All right. So I'm going to do SmackDown. There is a movie. It's called RRR, and it tells the story of two Indian men in the 1920s. There is a hit song in the movie, went viral on TikTok, and it won an Academy Award.
So specific.
It is called Natu Natu.
Oh
And
my
it's
God, we
like this,
talked about this so long ago, Ian.
yeah, it's like this really catchy, like Indian, like dance, like song. It's awesome. I love it.
All right. That was
So that would be the song I'm walking out to. And I am not taking this seriously at all. I am showing up I have a bunny costume.
Oh my God, there used to be a wrestler called Adam Rose, and he had the Rosebuds, and he used to have a bunny mascot. So you can be a part of the Rosebuds.
Yeah, I'm just coming out in a
your
bunny
squad.
costume. Like, what's up, everybody? Let's go. Like I'm gonna get my ass kicked, but it's gonna
Oh
be
my
fun.
God. That was the most like randomly detailed, specific corner of your brain that you just pulled that out of. That was wild.
I hope you don't mind, but I snuck in a picture of the three of us like midway through the interview, and
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna
why
put it
don't
in
we take a post picture right now?
Yeah.
Oh, we
Okay.
gotta be so secretive. I'm gonna move my mic though. It's not even plugged in. The effects of
All right, here, hold on. Let me move my mic.
You look so like official with that sitting there. And I'm over here like, am I doing something wrong not having a mic? Damn, this
Ian's
is
is plugged in, just so you know.
Mine's plugged in.
He's
What? Yours is wireless?
no, it's just not plugged in.
But
It's
you're still wait. So you're not going off of your mic.
no, this is just my computer because Apple rocks, and you know their audio is actually good. So I don't need this.
Oh,
I just need it to
got
look
it.
professional.
it worked because I pop in here, I'm like, damn, they both got mics.
Okay, Ian, signature radioactive question.
It's time, baby.
It's
Scared.
time.
What
All
is it?
right. You are on tour with Atreyu in the bus, right? And you and the guys are driving, do 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 do, and your bus breaks down.
Standard.
Your only place of refuge for the night is a haunted house. And you're like you're just posted up next to this haunted house. You're in the middle of nowhere. Keep that in mind. And there's a haunted house right there.
Uh-huh.
And the bus is like, I don't know, leaky or has some shit. You can't sleep in there, so you have to take refuge in the haunted house, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, upon arriving in the house, right, you are haunted by a dead celebrity. Who do you want haunting you and why? Now, before we go into it, I'm going to tell you the top three answers that we've gotten.
Okay.
Number one has been Betty White.
All right. That's expected.
Number two is Billy Mays or Michael Jackson. I can't remember which.
Okay.
Number three is Elvis Presley.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, I got a sad one. Okay, I got two without me thinking too much about it. The immediate one that came to my mind because we've been talking about WWE so much is Eddie Guerrero. But that's like if I was 10 years younger, that would be my answer. Then my mind next went to who in the music industry, and then I go Chester Bennington. So I think if I'm on tour and my bus breaks down, I would want Chester to be there so he can like hang with us and like feel welcome. And he wouldn't have to haunt me in like a bad ghost kind of way. He can just vibe with us, you know? And he could talk to the boys about music and festivals and where Lincoln Park is now. So I'll do Chester.
I don't think we've gotten that one yet. It's a good one.
That's the first one. That's the first.
I can't think of like, because I don't really care about any like actors or actresses or anything. Before you said dead celebrity, my mind went John Cena. But yeah, I'll stick with Chester. I think that's a solid answer. That's such a question. Ooh, that's a good
We
one.
came to play today.
We came as Romans today.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Heather. This was like exceeded all my expectations ever. So anyone watching this, if you ever want to come on the show, like take notes from Heather. This is how you do a interview.
This is how it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to work.
This is how you conduct an interview with these guys. I don't know where they are on your screen, but to me, they're on my left and my bottom. But no, you guys are fantastic. And again, sorry for all the rescheduling, but thank you for reaching out. Like, I didn't know what to expect, but you guys are fantastic. So thanks for making my Saturday afternoon very pleasant.
Ooh, do you want to wave, Ian? Do you want to bring back the wave?
Are we gonna wave?
We'll
What do we do?
Yay!
Bye.
Bye.